Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. My name is Vel Johnson, and I am a business catalyst and public relations strategist, as well as the CEO of Visage Communications. Visage Communications is a full service public relations consultancy that embraces smart approaches to strengthening brands with a high quality of public relations experience in campaigns. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Thank you for joining my scope. Um, Please feel free to connect and ask your followers to join. Please swipe to the right if you're on an iPhone, and swipe up if you're on an Android, and have your followers to join, please. We're going to be talking about something this evening that is really close at heart to me, and that is legacy. That's something that I think many of us may not think about very much because we're so busy throughout our days trying to just take care of business and take care of the family. And we may not actually give a second thought to what we want our legacy to be. So tonight, that's what I'm going to be talking about. So if we can get a couple more people on the scope, that would be great. So I see we have a couple already. If you can tell me where you're coming from, that would be wonderful. I am coming to you live from Central Florida, sunny Central Florida. If you can just put in the comments box where you're coming from, that would be wonderful. Then that way I can get to know you a little better, your name and where you're coming from, please. And then we'll just continue to talk. We'll just make this a nice little chat session. How about that? Okay. Again, I've been thinking a lot lately about legacy. Orlando in the house. Hey, Jean. Welcome, welcome. It's good to have you. I've been thinking a lot about what I hope my existence here on this earth will what it will mean to others long after I'm gone. Not that I'm thinking about going anywhere anytime soon, but I have been actually contemplating what I would like for people to be left with after I'm gone. You know, what thoughts they may have. You know, if you're anything like me, you spend most of your waking hours just working, working. Now, I absolutely love my clients. I love what I do. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Nevertheless, I think that you can probably identify with me in the fact that you realize that your inbox never empties. As soon as you finish one project, there's always another and another and another, and you get to a point where you start to realize that maybe you need to kind of take some time for yourself, whether it's a vacation or just what do they call it, a staycation, where you just kind of go away for a short while, just stay away for a little while and come back, maybe go to the beach and come back. But nevertheless, I've been really thinking about this issue of legacy. You know, and what matters most is not how hard we work. It's not, you know, the hours that we're putting in every day that matters so much. But really what matters most is the difference that we're making in the long run. The reputation that we're building, the, you know, the changes that we're able to affect in our local communities and society. And you know, the legacy that we make as we're here, and you know, after we're gone, we want people to be able to say that they were very honored to have known us, or that you know they were really pleased with something that we were able to do for them. You know, so it's our legacy that's most important. Have any of you been thinking about you know what's going to take place? You know, how people will think about you after you're gone? Have any of you been thinking about that at all? Have any of you written a book? That's something that I'm in the process of now, is trying to I have so many thoughts. I'm trying to put them on paper so that I can, you know, have something that will be here long after I'm gone, where people can remember and they can say, okay, these are some things that she thought of while she was here. But anyway, what I'd like to do this evening is to share a few steps that I've come up with. Thank you for the hearts. Just share a few steps for creating an amazing legacy in business and in life. And I'd like for you to feel free to contribute any feedback you may have. I don't see any comments yet, but feel free to contribute any feedback, questions, concerns, thoughts. I'd like for this to be kind of an open dialogue type session, if at all possible. So, moving forward onto our discussion, creating a legacy in business and in life. The first thing I think is important to do is establish your definition of success. Establish your definition of success. I think that many of us get so caught up into working and getting things done every day at a certain time. How well did I serve God? That's a good one. I love that, Sumner. Thank you for joining me as well. Thank you. How well did I serve God? That's very important. Yes. Anyone else have a comment on their definition of success? Definition of success? Well, I think it's important that we focus on, talk with Yate. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I think it's important that we focus on the mark or the objective of three things as an individual. One is focus on the mark of being a person of integrity. How did I help others? How did I help others? That's also very good. That's important. Yes. You want to make sure that you're a person of integrity. You want to make sure, secondly, that you are a person of worth. And the third point is you want to make sure that you're a person of value. Now, it's my opinion that if you have those three things already established as your foundation, honesty, very important, Sumner, thank you, yes. And that probably can be in the category of integrity, being a person of integrity. You're honest, someone who's honest in all of their dealings, someone that can be trusted. But once you've laid a foundation with those three very important elements, I think you can then find yourself becoming a motivating force in the world, and not before then. You know, if you're not a person of integrity, who's going to trust you? You know, if you're not a person of value or a person of worth, who will want to follow you? You know, you need to be in a position where you can be considered as an asset and someone that wants to, you know, someone that would want to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? So once you establish those three things, you've laid your foundation to be able to go out and basically do anything with success. Would you agree? Put a 1 in the comment box if you agree. Please put a 1 in the comment box if you agree with me. Nobody agrees with me, I guess. I don't see any 1s in the comment box. Okay. Well, tap the screen. Okay, thank you, Jean. You agree with me. I appreciate that. Sounds like know, like, and trust. Yes, to a large degree it is. You want to be able to build that reputation with people so that they know, like, and trust you, so that that eventually you will be able to establish that amazing legacy, whether it's in business or in life. Ha ha ha, it takes a while for the text to show up, it seems. Yeah, a little bit. It does, I guess. There's just a short delay on this end, I think. But that's okay. I know you're there, so that's all that really matters. So you've established those three things. Somebody tell me what you feel is the most important thing. Sumner, you've shared your ideas of what's important. Someone else, tell me what is important to you in establishing that, we'll say, the know, like, and trust with people. How do you do that? What characteristic do you think is most important in being able to establish the know, like, and trust factor, or establish the integrity, the worth, and the value factors? Someone let me know what their opinion might be there. Authenticity, very good. Thank you. That's a very important one. You want to make sure that, especially if you are a service provider, that your authenticity shows through. because people want to be able to do work with you if they'll do work with you if you are authentic, if you're your authentic self. They're going to be more prone to doing work with you. So that's very important. Thank you, Yate, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Now, I have a few steps that I like to discuss with you. Genuine, yes, thank you. That's another good one. Being authentic, being genuine, being transparent. Those are all very important attributes. You should be credible. Yes, indeed. You must be credible. If you want to build that strong reputation, you must definitely be credible. And if you want to be referred to others, that's also very good. Yes, yes, definitely. So the steps that I'd like to discuss with you in order to be able to achieve the goal of creating an amazing legacy, the first one is identifying your passion. Okay? Identifying your passion. Now, sometimes it can take a while to be able to really know exactly what your passion may be, because you may have a lot of different things that you enjoy. But I encourage you to think about, what is it that you enjoy most in life? You know, what is the thing that makes your heart race? You know, is there something that when you wake up in the morning, you think about, and before you go to bed at night, you're still thinking about it? If so, then that's your passion. What is it that you would do without being paid? Of course, you have to pay your bills, but what is it that you you have a few of them? That's great. That's great. So identifying your passion, that's the first thing. That's the first step to creating your amazing legacy. Now, once you have identified that passion, the second step, I have my notes here. I guess you can see, I just want to make sure that I stay on target. The second thing I encourage you to do is decide how this passion that you have, this one thing in particular, can be used in a way to make the greatest impact. Okay? Decide how that passion can be used to make the greatest impact. Guess I have to fine tune this. I think you're making a significant impact already, Yate. But once you do that, then I think you're well on your way. You know, once you define how it can be used to make the greatest impact. And in my mind, making the greatest impact means the thing that makes you happy, as well as gives great benefit to others. Something is impactful if it's making you happy, brings you joy, as well as provides a great benefit or a service to others. So I tell you, why don't everyone, if you can just put in your comment box if you have already discovered your passion. If you can hear me, tap the screen. I don't see any hearts, I don't see any comments, but just tell me if you've already discovered what your greatest passion is, and the thing that brings you the most. Paris Nicole, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Feel free to share with your followers. We're just discussing the steps to creating an amazing an amazing legacy in business and in life. Hi. Where are you coming from, Paris Nicole? Photography? Wonderful. Wonderful. Photography. How many of us are living our dreams? Tap the screen if you're living your dreams. Memphis. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm in sunny Florida, in Central Florida. So it's a pleasure to have you on Scope. I see lots of hearts. I see lots of hearts. I don't see enough, though, so I don't think everyone is really living their dream. Is everyone fulfilling their passion? Okay, maybe, maybe not, right? Okay, great. So number 3, getting close to living my dreams. All right, Jean, good for you. Good for you. Number 3, develop a roadmap. Yes. Okay, close. Okay, good. Okay, I don't see any no's, so that makes me feel good. Okay. So the third step in creating an amazing legacy in business would be to, after you've already discovered your passion, and then you've discovered the way that it can be used to make the greatest impact, the third thing you want to do is to develop a roadmap to implementing a plan. Okay? You're living it, however, not to the fullest. Well, there's still time. As long as there's breath, hey, as long as there's life, you still have an opportunity to live it to the fullest. Okay? So, so once we have developed a roadmap, there's certain ways that you can figure out what that roadmap might be actually. But you may want to do some research. You may want to educate yourself. Once you've discovered your passion, you may realize that you need certification in a particular area, in that particular area, in order to be considered credible. You may want to go back to school and get another degree. You may decide that you need to associate yourself with people that are in that industry. That's always good. Networking with others who are already doing whatever it is so that you can begin to learn more about that particular area. So that's number 3. That's develop a roadmap to implementing your plan, okay? You do your due diligence, and then that's when you come up with a blueprint for how you're going to move forward. Number 4, you breathe life into the plan. Breathe life into the plan. So now we have our passion. We've decided on how we're going to use it in order to be able to be impactful and bring joy to ourselves and service to others. And we've developed a roadmap, and we've now we're breathing life into the plan. How do we breathe life into our plan? Somebody give me a little bit of feedback here on how you may have breathed life into a passion of yours. What is it that you did that allowed your business or your whatever it may be that you focus on, that you enjoy? What is it that you did to bring it to life, to bring it to exposure so that others can be able to benefit from it as well? Is there something in particular that you did in order to be able to do that? Are there any particular resources that you used in order to do that? You can share, or you can just tap the screen if you choose not to say anything, but you do understand what I'm saying. You can just tap the screen and give me some hearts. Okay, so you want to create a strategic design. Okay, creating a strategic design with appropriate systems in place will help to breathe life into that plan. That strategic design could be your marketing plan. Okay, it could be a strategic plan that includes advertising, marketing, PR, whatever it is that's going to give you the visibility that you need so that your passion can be brought forth and you can, be of benefit and service to others. Okay, now, once your passion is operational and productive, that's when you'll begin to experience the utmost joy. Create a strategic plan. Thank you for putting that there, Yati. I appreciate that. And that's when others will be able to really be able to reap the great benefits once it's productive, once it's going strong, once that product or service that you have created is moving forward. That's when you're in a position where you can say, okay, I'm actually in a position now where I'm creating my legacy. This is something that I want to be my legacy. This is something that I can see generations benefiting from. My children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren may decide to take on this business and move it forward. And hopefully one day it will become a household name, So those are the first four steps for creating an amazing legacy. Now the 5th one that I'd like to mention is something that comes towards at a point where you may be ready to retire, or you may be ready to transition into another career, or you may be at a point where you're just a little tired and ready to you want to let your children take over. And that's the transition stage. Succession planning is what some people call it, succession planning. During this period, this is where you decide, first of all, what you want your legacy to be for the business. How do you want it to look in the future? And who would you like to move it on to the next step, to the next stage? So you have to have that trust for whoever it is that you're going to be handing the keys of the business to. You have to make sure that they're trained appropriately and that they're going to be able to handle it in a way that you would approve. Okay, So those are the steps that there are plenty more, of course, but I wanted to only focus on 5. 5 is the lucky number for today. And I'm just going to do a brief recap. Again, my name is Vel Johnson, and I am a public relations strategist with Visage Communications. We are a full-service public relations consultancy based in the Central Florida area, designed to create amazing public relations strategies and to help build brands for businesses. Laura, greetings. It's so good to see you. We need to talk. Thank you for joining the Scope. We're talking about creating an amazing legacy in business and in life. And I'm just going to, you might want to look at the replay as I'm just going to go over the steps. The first one we mentioned was actually finding your passion. And then the second one we mentioned was after you found your passion, you want to determine exactly how that particular passion can be used to be impactful. And if it's being impactful, that means it's something that's bringing you joy, and it's also providing service or benefit to others, okay? Whether it's in your community or it's globally, it's something that's going to be useful. The third step in creating an amazing legacy is to develop a roadmap to implementing that plan, okay? So once we've found our passion and then we've determined how it can be used, we're going to develop a roadmap. That roadmap can consist of going back and getting the certification if need be. Thank you for putting that there. That's my website address for anyone that wants to reach out to send an email to me directly. You can just go to my contact page. Or if you'd like to see the services that we provide at Visage Communications, you'll see a list there on the home page as well. But the third, as we were saying, you may want to go back and get additional education, certification, another degree to qualify yourself for whatever it is that you're aiming for. But you definitely want to network with others that are in the industry, and you want to continue to do research so that you can stay abreast of the latest, the cutting edge technologies or whatever it is that's going to help you to be considered as maybe a thought leader in that particular industry. Now the next step, number 4, was to breathe life into the plan. Breathe life into your plan. This plan is, again, your passion. And we discussed doing that by first creating a strategic design, and then including appropriate systems that will help to not only sustain, but also create and establish longevity for this particular passion of yours. Okay? And then after we've established a great deal thank you for joining us, Ed. Thank you for joining and for sharing with your followers. I appreciate that. You may want to catch the replay as we're going to be ending here shortly. But thank you again for coming on Scope. We're talking about creating an amazing legacy. And the 5th step is succession planning. After we have had a wonderful career of doing what we enjoy most, after we have lived our dreams, so to speak, you may want to think about who you would like to carry on this dream of yours that you created, this passion, this wonderful organization that you built. So that's the place where you start to look at maybe children or others that will be in a position to take over the business. So your legacy will live on for generations if you follow these important steps. Your legacy should live on for generations and generations, and that's the goal. That should be the goal in life. As I said earlier, we are always working. We're always focusing on the next step. But what's important is not necessarily how much or how hard we work, but the difference that we're making. What's important is the reputation that we're acquiring while we're working, and the relationships that we're building, and being able to make a difference so that future generations can be able to benefit from our hard work. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me. And if you have any comments, please go ahead and show them now, because we're going to be signing off real soon. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for the hearts, and thank you for extending this scope to your followers. I appreciate that. And again, if you'd like to reach me, you can do so through my website by connecting through my bio at visagecommunications.com. If you're interested in having one-on-one laser-focused coaching, in particular something related to your passion, I encourage you to also go to my website and click on the PR coaching page, and you'll see information there that can lead you to specific laser-focused coaching, and we can schedule a time. Or if you just want to drop me a note, feel free to do so as well. My email address is vel, V-E-L, at visagecommunications.com, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. So again, thank you for joining me. Also, if you're on Facebook, please follow me, like my Visage Communications Facebook page. That's facebook.com, and I think it's /Visage Communications. If you like my page, I'd really appreciate that, and you can learn more about the wonderful things and the plans that we have in store at our agency. Again, thank you so kindly, and I look forward to chatting with you next time. It is about 10:18 on the East Coast, and so it's about time for us to move on to the next step, so to speak, and I will speak with all of you again later. Take care and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.